Hey there, it's Jason from SFL Designs. Today we're going to look at building a controller. We're going to use a couple parts here. We've got our VBox from your Pixel store. We've got our 350 watt power supply, LRS 350. And then we've got our custom mounts, our SnapMount 350s. And we're going to show you how to build up an Experience Lights Genius 4-port controller. And here's the hardware, so let's get started. We've got all our hardware laid out. We're ready to start our controller build. We're using a Genius 4-port controller, and we're going to mount that over to our SnapMount 350. Now this snap mount is made for the Genius 16 and the Genius 4, and the years 2022, 23, and 24. So they are different hole patterns, which is why we have the different versions there. Now, when we mount this, we need to be cognizant on how we mount it. So there is a front to the board. So the front of the board is got this flush for the mount here on the front, and then the back it's got a little bit of a hangover. We want to mount it to the back of the board, and the reason being is because when we mount those, this is how it will sit onto the mount. We want this to be facing down towards the bottom of this VBox, because there's an opening on the VBox for all the cables and stuff, and we'll get to that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to push out some of these push pins. We need 4 of them. So we're gonna just push them through. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and 4. Okay, now we're gonna find our hole pattern that we need. We are using a 2024 model Genius 4-port. So we're gonna be using the purple holes. So I'm going to take my push pins and I'm going to find the purple holes and I'm going to push that in just like that. Now these should sit flush on the inside of this mount, and we'll finish pushing them through in just a minute with a screwdriver, because that seems to work pretty well. There's 3 and then 4. Okay, so we're going to grab our screwdriver and we're going to finish pushing them in. There we go. And I said they sit flush, but actually these going up just a little bit more than flush. You can see that. Okay, so now from here, now we can put our board, install our board onto the mount. And the way we install it is we just line it up to the pins, just like that, and then we push it on. And it should be a tight fit, and it should not easily come off. So that'll take a little bit of work to get that off of there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bolt this onto our power supply. And to bolt it on, we're going to need some M4 bolts, and these are 8 millimeters in length. We're just going to line it up to our holes here on our power supply and bolt it on. And bolt it on. We tried to make these as easy as possible for anybody to be able to build their own controller if they want to. And we think we've done that. With the push pins, and the snap mount, and then the minimal amount of hardware that you really need. And the fun comes with integrating it into this VBox. This VBox actually has some really good features onto it. Now we're going to mount up the wiring. So for the wiring, we've already kind of loosened these up here. I'm going to loosen them up a little bit more, make sure they're loose down here on the power supply. And I tend to try to keep them separate. So on my power, we're going to do power here. And I've used some little U-clips there. I like them better than just doing raw wire, but as you'll see, I have raw wire as well on the other side of these. So get these wired up. Okay, and we're gonna do negative to negative, positive to positive. And you could shorten these wires up if you want, tidy everything up. I'm not gonna worry about it for this build, but I will whenever I deploy this out to the field. I'll get those wires a little shorter. Makes for a cleaner install. So now that we have our wiring done here, now we can actually install this into our VBox. Here's the fun part. So we've got some mounts. These are VBox mounts, and they will go on the back side, obviously. And then we have our controller mounts. So the controller mount itself, this particular mount, has little tabs here that will go inside of the power supply, making it easy to snap it in, hence SnapMount. Now this is ready to go. Now we can feed our bolts through the backside. And the VBox actually has a great feature here where you can actually bolt the mount right to the VBox itself, and that's what we're going to do. So I've got an M4 bolt. These are 16 millimeters long. I'm going to get one started, and this is tricky, this can be, and it does require a little bit of patience. So on my mount, I'm going to lay it to the side just like this. This makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to grab my back mount. This is a PVC or EMT pipe. This is 3/4 inch EMT. And we make these in 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch EMT PVC, and other, I believe 1 inch as well for EMT and PVC as well. So a lot of different options there. So there are 4 holes on the back of this box. We're just going to pick up on the one that matches with the mount, that one there. And then we're going to flip this around and we're going to mount it to the inside of this box. Now this is where it gets tricky. So the easiest way to do it that I found is to actually mount, or to line up the hole for the mount through the box. So once I could see the hole through the box, then I put my screw in, my bolt in, and then just bolt it up. And then once you get one in there, then you can grab another bolt and do the other one. It's pretty easy. Okay, I've got that on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one as well while I've got this in my hands this way. And you might have to wiggle the inside around just a little bit just to find that hole. But once you do, get it threaded in, get it somewhat secure. There you go. Now just take your Allen wrench and secure it in the rest of the way. And I usually do corner to corner. So once I get this one somewhat firm in there, then I'll come up here to this corner and get this one secured. And that way I know whenever I start tightening these down that everything will be squared up in there inside of the box. There you go. Right. Now that that is mounted up and ready to go, now we can add our wiring. So our wiring is very simple. On these Genius, they have these toggle clamps, and you just line up the colors. So black, yellow, and red go to black, orange, and red. That's number 1. Number 2, same thing, black, yellow, red, goes to black, orange, and red. Number 3. Let's see, can you guess it? Is it black? Straighten these out just a touch. Black, yellow, red goes to, you guessed it, black, orange, and red. Black, yellow, and red. Okay, now we can add some zip ties if we want. The last thing we need to do though is need to apply the power. And the power cable itself, you'll have to make sure that you have the right power cable for the right power supply. So the power cable itself will be plugged in right here to the power supply. Now you can use a 600 watt power supply. You can use a 350 watt power supply. We will have the 600s available here very soon. In fact, we've got one in the image right now. If you didn't pick it up, I'll show you in just a second. Ground is green, neutral is white, and line is black. That's what I'm using here. Now make sure that this power cord here is rated for the incoming amperage that this power supply is going to require. You can tidy this up with some zip ties. I'm not going to bother with it right now. And the box itself, that's done. We've done built a 4-port controller. You can do a 16 and 8. In this particular format here, this will hold up to a 16, and on this VBox it'll hold up to 16. So these are very useful. There's different sizes of the VBox. They have this is the small one. You can get the bigger one, the medium-sized one, but they have the same type of features. The box itself just kind of closes, and there's some rubber insulation here to keep the water out, but there's also rubber here for up against the cables. And as long as you have this in the upright position, meaning like this, then you will be fine. You won't have any water intrusion. Now I'm going to go back later and I will silicone these holes just to make sure that I don't get any water intrusion through these holes. I have not seen any water intrusion through them, but I also try to be as cautious as possible and make sure that I don't get water in my boxes. So now that that's built, now you can go build another one. We do have them available in a double stack as well, so if you're using like a 350 and you want to use 2 of them and not a 600, you can do that. The build is pretty much the same. These power supplies snap in to the clips that are there. And we have a different bracket. We have what's called a V3 bracket for these. And that is to help keep this top power supply from popping loose. So the difference between the V3 is you can see the side profile, these have like wings around them compared to this one. So this one does not have the wings around it. It's just the peg there for the hole to bolt it to your power supply, whereas these, they've got that hole still, but they have wings, and what the wings will do is they help secure the tabs from popping it. So that's the dual stack. We probably won't make a triple stack, but who knows, we're not sure. This is the 600. Again, LRS 600, and this one's 12 volt. This one's from your Pixel store. Same process, you would mount this. You would mount the top mount, the snap mount, to the top of the power supply, and then you can snap in the bottom. And then the bottom itself has the 4 holes that you can mount directly to the power supply. And it also has additional holes with pockets for the heads of screws if you want to screw that to a wall or board, however you want to mount that. And then as long as they're sank in, the head is sank in past this flush of the bottom of the mount, then you'll be fine. Well, we hope you found this build session very useful. We've built a 4-port Genius controller in under 10 minutes, and with a VBox and snap mounts, and you can do the same, probably even under less time. They are available, the snap mounts are available for the Falcon controllers and the Baldric controllers currently right now. We do have the Vivid controllers on deck and ready to be released within the next week or so. And then we are still working on the Culp controllers. So hopefully we'll get those done here relatively soon. But thank you very much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.